Captain Gary. That's a pleasure to see you again. Now we're here in Miami at an amazing event, and today with us, President Fernandez, the President of the Dominican Republic. That's incredible. The atmosphere here is amazing. So how this event for you? Could you share what very, probably unique things you learned today or heard today, what amazing people you met, or anything you would like to say about the event?
Well, firstly, I'm delighted that you were able to make this event because it is an important event. Besides the president of Dominican Republic here, there's a lot of diplomats, a lot of politicians, influential people here, and they need to see that Ukrainian television is here. And as you can see that Alex also mentioned how important it is to rebuild Ukraine and how to involve business people in Ukraine. So I think it was a very beneficial meeting for the Ukrainians. He also mentioned the soldiers, the wounded soldiers. That was very, pleasant for me to hear. They're not forgotten, that even on this international level, we remember that Ukraine is at war. We remember that there are people there that need help. And hopefully some business people and some diplomats here are more aware of the situation, the global situation. Because being in Miami, it's very difficult to forget that there's the rest of the world out there and some of it has problems.
That's for sure, and I truly support your words because I think it's very important. Such events are just incredible and unique because here are people from government, people from business, and to hear that wording about Ukraine, about soldiers, that's heartwarming.
Your presence here is also very important, so I'm glad that you made it. And hopefully you're going to continue with all these international events. Your television program will continue to participate in it.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of the speakers was speaking about the war situations in the world and Ukraine, of course, and Gaza situation, like everything. And actually, I really loved the word he said that it's more about the conscious and that something is happening when people decide, start warring and, war and start killing each other. So what do you think, just like, what's your thought on that, just from the moral perspective, I would say? What can you say in regards of that, as a society, I mean, like what's happening to people in regards those who decided to make wars and just all of a sudden, kill other people? Like, what do you think? Like, what is going on?
Like you said, it's a very good word, conscious. When people are conscious of something, because if they're not conscious, they're unconscious, and then they don't realize what they're doing because they're not controlling the situation. And of course, war is madness. It's pure madness. We're killing each other. And unfortunately, also, where there is unconsciousness or no conscious, it's because some people make a lot of money on it. And because they make a lot of money on the blood of others and on suffering of other people, it's evil. It's pure evil. They don't want to end the war because it's very beneficial to them. And many countries, many business people in the United Nations do not want to end the war. Or they play their own politics in it in order to benefit themselves at the expense of another country. So they would say, yeah, well, we have to do this or that. But you're doing it at the expense and lives of others. So what makes you think that your lives are more important than theirs? And of course, it all ends up being money and greed and unconscionable behavior of many leaders who represent big firms, oligarchs, but it's the common people that suffer, of course, a great deal.
Well, we truly appreciate your work because actually, we know you're in the military sphere, right? That we know you're retired, but it doesn't look like you're retired, to be honest, right?
Well, I'm not, because my family, my kids are still in the military. So I don't want them to go to war.
Exactly. The example of the work that you do, like you help a lot. You help a lot with Ukraine. You help a lot, with, really, to soldiers. But at the same time, you also do a lot of streams. You work actually with people as well. So you spread the word out. So you actually in a lot of battlefields, so what I'm trying to say. And That's, you know, that's
It's also, I mean, informational war is a war too. And unfortunately, and I blame many so-called journalists saying that what you're doing is unconscionable. I know you're getting paid for it, but what you're doing is the blood of Ukrainian soldiers and the blood of Israeli soldiers and the blood of civilian people are on your tongues, And one day you will be responsible. Somebody will hold you responsible for your behavior. That is why I enjoy your television so much and giving you interviews like that. What they're doing it is because somebody bought them to do it, made them do it. And unfortunately, there's so much of it and so much disinformation goes around that the wars don't stop. They continue to fight because that's the encouragement that the people get, the brainwash. It's been throughout history like that.
Thank you very much. You really great, really point all the points, but I really love and enjoy this message about the journalism because that's, I think it's important for people to understand that when the journalists or any other, like, there are a lot of like influencers and stuff like doing disinformation, they have to understand that they gonna be accountable and the lives of people on their hands.
I will be the first one to go and testify because I know them. And I read about your television. I thought I was the only one that I saying, listen, I'm trying to help, and I get all this attack and all this trying to discredit me, supposedly the people that were trying to help. And then I read about your television station. I said, okay, I'm not the only one. We got to do the right thing at the right time for the right reason.